Hi everyone, welcome to Legends of the Spire. This is the podcast where I usually speak to former players and managers of Chesterfield FC, but something a little bit different this week as I caught up with a fan instead. And it's a fan on a bit of an incredible journey. I spoke to Dan Cresswell. He is currently cycling from London to Bangkok with his friend Alain. They are currently in Albania, having cycled all of the way there, and are currently kind of partially recuperating and partially just building up the funds by doing a bit of work before setting off again. It's an absolutely mammoth journey. It's going to take them ages. He is representing Chesterfield everywhere he goes. He's got the shirt on, been popping to loads of local matches as well. And it was really good to have a chat with him. I think it's one of those chats where you just find a bit of inspiration. So hopefully it gives some of you that are watching a bit of drive to do that thing you've always fancied doing. Really good fun speaking to him. We wish him all the best. And they're also doing some fundraising as well, both for Spireite Trust, a food bank down in London from where Alain is, and then also for a mental health charity as well. So I'll put the links all in the podcast. If you want to donate, feel free to, if you've got any spare pennies. And I'm sure if you know anyone between Albania and Bangkok that has a house, a bed for the night, then please do get in touch with him. I'll put his details of where you can find them on YouTube and Twitter, etc., X, in the notes. I'll be back with another Chesterfield legend pretty soon, just putting the final finishing touches to it. But until then, I hope you enjoy this chat with Dan Cresswell. I find it really inspiring. Absolutely bonkers what they're doing, but all sounds like good fun. So here we are. This is a chat about cycling from London to Bangkok from Dan the Spireite. Here we go. So you're in Albania at the moment.
That's right, yes.
Where in Albania? Is it the capital?
We are in Durrës on the coast.
All right, nice.
So because we've cycled down the Croatian coast, and then into a bit of Slovenia, and then Bosnia for a day, and then Croatia, and then Montenegro, and then Croatia again, and then now we are in Albania. So we've gone down the Balkan coast, really.
Nice. So give us all some context of how this all started and when it all started and why it all started.
We probably have to go back a few years, really. I met my mate Alain, who is from Islington at university in Nottingham, and we studied tropical sciences together at Nottingham University. And in one of our years, we had a year abroad in Malaysia. So we spent like a whole year living in Malaysia doing tropical sciences. So me and him, we clicked instantly at uni, and Malaysia definitely made us realize we love traveling, we love seeing different parts of the world. We finished university, and then we actually both went and did some work in Costa Rica doing some conservation work, which further confirmed how much we love traveling and seeing the world, meeting people from all over the world, living in a different country. But to be honest, it's not an affordable way to live. The pay, if you actually get a job out there, the pay is pretty, not very good. And we were both actually only on on a volunteer basis. It's quite difficult to get a job. And like I say, if you do get a job, the pay is it's not great. Not that you care about, we don't care about money too much, but you want, if you're working, you want a bit of something behind you.
Yeah, totally.
So we came back to England, to get some money. So I was working as a teaching assistant in the Chesterfield area, and Alain was back in London, working as a veterinary assistant. So both doing jobs we love in the community, and we felt good about doing our jobs. But we also had this pull, this urge to keep traveling again. So we got hooked over Christmas just gone, and watching Netflix documentaries and YouTube documentaries, both sending each other messages saying, watch this one, watch this one. And then I remember Alain called me up after work one day in January and just said, we've got to do something. We've got to do something. So we planned cycling London to Bangkok, which is a huge effort. I
Mm,
actually cycled from Chesterfield to London. I had to do that, for my
of course.
hometown. Um, but as I'm sure you can understand, trying to market it online, London to Bangkok might do a little bit better.
Yeah, yeah.
um, so yeah, and that's kind of where we're at the minute. And our like desire for adventure is definitely paying off because we are just loving every day. It's
Yeah,
amazing.
I bet. So what day is this? When did you start?
This I started on the 30th of May in Chesterfield. And then we started, took me about a week to get down, to cycle down to London. We
Mm,
started on June the 4th in London from Islington, so from Alain's house.
yeah.
And so it was day 90 on Saturday. What are we on? Tuesday? 90, 91, 92, 93, day 93
Wow.
today.
Has it been everything you expected so far, or has it been something different?
um, you know what? I didn't go in with too many expectations because I just thought whatever happens, whatever we see, whatever people we meet, whatever food we eat, it's just going to happen. I know objectively I enjoy traveling, so I knew like whatever happens basically.
Yeah.
But it has surpassed anything I could have expected because every day is amazing. Even whilst we're not cycling at the minute and we're resting up in Albania, we just walk out to the local town, try a different food,
Mm.
meet another, a waiter who asks us about why we're here. We tell them about the trip. They're in awe, and it's just amazing to meet people from all over the world. Yeah, we love it. We love it, and yeah, surpassed any expectation.
So so you never really gave your brain a chance to talk yourself out of it, I suppose.
No, honestly, for 6 months since we started talking about it, there's not been one time when I thought I don't want to do this or
Mm.
might back out here. It's like definitely a pull that it just sits right with me in every way. We're both just loving it, basically.
What's your plans afterwards then? Are you gonna, because you're obviously doing the um little videos on YouTube and stuff like
Mhm.
documenting things as you go along. So have you got like a grand plan from it, or are you just going with the flow?
Well, we're definitely set on just trying to get to Bangkok at the
Yeah.
minute. We have spoken about what can we do after. There has been talks of let's carry on after that because there's lots of Southeast Asia that we want to see.
Mm.
And having lived in Malaysia before, we know we love Southeast Asia. It's an amazing, amazing place. So there's been talks about carrying on. Um, we're really enjoying uploading the YouTube videos, and there's some pretty good traction there at the
Mm.
minute. I think almost 500 subscribers at the minute, which when we've only got currently two videos out of the trip, that's yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah, yeah.
We have the Alps video. The Alps video is coming in a next couple of days or so, so that should be good. So potentially in the future, if the YouTube grows in a way, then that'd be amazing. We've also discussed like we could write a book. We're both taking pictures all the time. Have
Mm.
some pictures. Obviously, have a little write up of all our different experiences. So that's another thought we've had. It's kind of like the ball's rolling at the minute. Even doing things like this,
Yeah, yeah.
six months ago, I'd never expected to be on a podcast or anything like that. So the ball's rolling. We're really enjoying the field we're in. Obviously, at the minute, we're not making any money from it. It's not the most sustainable thing in the world right now. But if bigger things come, if we can make seriously good documentaries about future travels, write books, that would be amazing.
Mm.
Yeah, part of what we're doing is also trying to inspire others. We're really loving it ourselves, and we think some people aren't really enjoying their jobs or what's going on in their life. We want to say put a message to some people like go out there, even if it is just like in your holidays, the holidays you get off work,
Mm.
go somewhere, travel somewhere crazy, really live and experience another person's way of living. And yeah,
Yeah.
just enjoy yourself. You've got kind of one life. You've got one life, so go for it. Is kind of the message we want to put across.
It's just the way the people putting in their resignation letters now.
That's not good.
It's your fault. I got to say, I've kind of done I kind of did that. We're kind of a nation
Yeah.
of procrastinators, aren't we?
Mm,
A lot of the time. And I remember years ago, before I started the podcast, thinking, oh, it'd be nice to talk to a load of Chesterfield players. I'd kind of like to
yeah.
find out what happened in their lives and careers and stuff, and get a better understanding of stuff. And for months, I was just like, oh yeah, but no one will want to do it, and it's going to take too much time and stuff like that. And then once you kind of just launch off and do it one day, then you just find yourself in the kind of in the middle
Absolutely.
of it then, don't you? And you don't really think about having started it or where it's going to go or stuff like that. You just kind of enjoy the
Absolutely. Yeah.
ride in the middle, don't you?
See where the ball rolls. And I've listened to a few like Paul Cook, Sam Clucas,
Yeah.
big names, and it's
I mean, Paul Cook was just so funny because I messaged a random profile on LinkedIn that
yeah,
said Paul Cook, and I think he was still the manager of Portsmouth then or something. So he'd obviously been
yeah,
to Wigan and Ipswich and everywhere else afterwards. So it was a bit like he's obviously not looking at that anymore. And then it was like a few days later that I got a phone call, and he's just like, "Hi, Dave, it's Paul Cook." Now, and I should remember going, "Sorry, who?" And Paul Cook, and I'm going, "Sorry," because he has got quite a strong accent,
of course,
obviously,
yeah,
as you know. Paul Cook, and I was like, "Oh Christ, Paul Cook." So it was just, like you say, it's just random, isn't it? And you'll be having similar things happen, won't you? People that you're meeting. Where's been your favourite place so far that you've been to?
favorite place so far for me. Going over the Alps was incredible.
Mm,
If people want to watch that, obviously they can see that on the YouTube. Um, you're just cycling up and up and up with these towering mountains either side of you. It's like it puts you in your place, definitely
yeah,
puts you
yeah.
in your place. And I was totally in awe of nature and very present as well. Your worries go out the window, anything
Mm,
you're worried about and stuff. You just got to keep cycling uphill, and that's your only mission. And that's what I like about the trip as well. I'm, I'm only thinking about the trip, and when you're sat at home, you can end up worrying about things. I found anyway.
yeah.
But just being on the bike, it's almost therapeutic. I think it's amazing. But yeah,
Mm,
the Alps. But a shout out to Croatia as well. The Croatian
yeah.
coast. We were just looking right for 3 weeks coming down the coast, looking west, it would have been as we cycle south. Amazing. Blue water on your right. Again, mountains on your left. Perfect smooth roads because it's the roads the cars use as well on the coast. So yeah, that was amazing as well.
Nice. So when you're actually obviously having a rest at the moment, but a regular kind of cycling day, what kind of time of day do you start, finish, distance? How does it
Yeah.
kind of structure work?
Well, we're definitely ruled by the sun. So we mostly wild camp basically. So wherever we can find a spot, we'll wild camp. So wherever we have wild camp the night before, the sun will wake us up. Um, anywhere between on this trip, it's been anywhere between 5:30 and 7:30. Obviously, um, we've been cycling as the summer's been going on,
Yeah, yeah.
and we've been cycling south, so it's been a bit all over the place the sunrise times. But yeah, so sunrise, pack our roll mat away, pack the tent away. If we put the tent up in Croatia, it's been so warm at night. We've just slept on the beach, and there's been no rain. There was no rain for about a month, so we just slept on the beach on a roll mat. It was amazing. Yeah, pack our stuff away. We've got our little stove, camping stove, so put that on, get the morning coffee on. Might take about half an hour to an hour just to get up. And then we cycle on average, it's been anywhere between 60 and 80 kilometers a day. Some days we do 20
Mm,
just because we find a cool place and we check it out. Or we've had days where we've done 100, for example, coming down the River Rhine in Germany, just flat and
mm,
straight. And so, yeah, we'll cycle to wherever we're going. In Croatia, we had to wait some of the afternoon out. It was so hot. You're talking 35 degrees. We were
mm.
cycling in the European heat wave as well. it was pretty rough about a month ago. So yeah, we might wait out the afternoon in a air conditioned supermarket, a Lidl or an Aldi it was in Germany or Italy, and then in Croatia, supermarket's called Claudine. So just get some food, wait it out, and then maybe 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the evening, we'll put a few more hours in. Find a spot, usually on a beach, in a woods, anywhere really, and it's usually a beautiful place. We usually get really lucky with where we end up sleeping, and then put the stove on again, make our dinner, pasta or noodles with some vegetables or something, and then sleep, go again. Yeah.
It sounds nice that you're not really setting yourself a really strict have to be here on that day, here on that
No,
day, here on that day, which because
not at
otherwise
all.
you could get kind of become it could become unenjoyable quite quickly, couldn't it, if you were putting that much pressure on yourself?
Yeah, you've hit the nail on the head there. Absolutely. We've met other cyclists who do say, I try and do 100 kilometers a day. I try to, but they've admitted to us in conversation, to be honest, I'm kind of missing seeing everything, and I'm zooming along just to hit my targets. Whereas we're not doing this trip to hit any targets in that way. We're trying to just enjoy ourselves basically, and see the world and do what we love.
How are you working within a budget then? I suppose you're trying to
Fantastic
manage things as
question.
you go along.
So when we decided to do this back in January, we said yes, let's definitely do it. We set a date of June the 4th for two reasons. Well, one reason, football. We knew both. My mate Alain, at heart, he's born and raised Islington. He's an Arsenal fan. I'm a Chesterfield fan, obviously. So by then, both our seasons were definitely over. I think Arsenal finished end of May, so it gives us a week just to settle down. And then June the 4th, we set that back in January. Side note on Alain, he does look out for Chesterfield. He came to a game last season. He came to the Wembley final, so he's Spireite at heart as well.
Yeah.
And so because we planned it 6 months ago, that we gave ourselves obviously 6 months to carry on in our jobs, teaching assistant and a veterinary assistant for Alain. So that was 6 months of graft basically for the budget.
Saving.
And then right now in Albania, so this is the magic. We are both teaching English online. So my brother actually, probably 10 years ago now, he's only a few years older than me, but 10 years ago he started teaching English online, and he's always done it just as some side money. And then he's now a head of a science department abroad actually. So he kind of got me thinking about how are we going to fund this trip, teach English online. I've seen it work, I've seen it happen. So now we're resting in Albania, but we're also working. We've got a job again, 9 till 5, teaching English online to kids from all over the world, Saudi Arabia and Korea and China and European countries. So in a way, we're still kind of meeting people from all over the world again, so we don't mind it. We quite enjoy that as well.
Yeah, and it's a good thing to get a bit of cash in, isn't it? While you can.
Yeah.
A lot of people watch like race across the world and stuff like that, where people are having to earn a few bob and then move on to somewhere else, earn a few bob.
Exactly.
What do all like family and friends think of it when you say, "No, tomorrow we're going to sleep on a beach in Croatia"?
I think there's mixed reviews. I know like my mum, my dad, my brother, my sister, they really supportive. They absolutely love it. Same with my aunties and uncles and grandma and granddad. They love it. I think there's a bit more concern um, with aunties and uncles. My granddad's a bit concerned, things like this, but I understand the concerns, of course, but I know they also support the journey, support what I do, and despite the concerns, I'd be concerned if I had a son or anything like that.
Yeah.
I'd be I'd be really concerned. So I understand totally, but I also just have to do this basically.
Well, and you'll look back in decades, won't you? And it'll be one of those things that is that you can pass down to,
Yeah, that's the
future
plan.
generations and stuff like that. The time you had an adventure. So how are you
Yeah.
keeping in touch with the Chesterfield results then?
So as I've said, as we're cycling along, we do stop in supermarkets or cafes and things when we need to wait the heat out. So 3 p.m. fixtures, perfect timing. It was
Nice.
4 p.m. for us, so we might listen. We were listening to 1866 Sport. We've listened to most games now, actually, and yeah, listen for a couple hours, and then we head off cycling again at 6 o'clock. So we've kept up when we find Wi-Fi and things, and now we're in Albania resting up where we are at the minute. Obviously, we have Wi-Fi. That's how I'm talking to you, obviously.
Yeah.
So the games at the minute for the next 2 weeks and last week, we've been listening and keeping up. It's been good.
Yeah. Do you think you'll get back in time for the trophy lift then?
It's a bit tight, to be honest. We might have to wait the winter out, is what we're looking at, just
Yeah.
because, yeah, some of the countries are going through potentially they're very snowy. Basically, some of the stands, Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, that's the planned route at the minute. You're like 3,000, 4,000 meters up. Gets very snowy, so we might have to wait the winter out. Therefore, we might not make the trophy lift, but maybe when first game back in League Two, we'll be there.
Yeah. And are you going to cycle there?
Cycling back might be a bit of a tough one, but you know what? If we crazily thought, wow, we want to keep going, I would cycle back if we feel up for it, but a different route. I wouldn't want to do the same route there as back as we've done there. I'd like to go another way round. But anyway, that's a future potential plan. Who knows?
So how can people kind of keep up to date with everything that's happening? Where are you at?
So we both are filming for our YouTube videos, which is under my name, Daniel Cresswell. If you search Daniel Cresswell on YouTube, I should come up.
Mm-hmm.
Or type in Daniel Cresswell cycling, and I'll definitely come up. And our Instagrams, mine is DJ Cresswell, but the L's are ones. So if you can, yeah,
I'll
follow
put it in
there,
the
that'd be
notes.
cool.
I'll put it in the notes at the
Nice,
bottom.
nice. And my mate Alain is Agvelo, Aggvelo. So,
Nice.
and on the Twitter as well, same as Instagram.
Yeah. And you're doing a bit of fundraising alongside it as well, aren't you? You want to talk about
Yeah, exactly. So GiveStar contacted us actually, and they're trying to promote fundraising for people who are doing kind of crazy adventures like us, really. Their picture boy, their star boy is hardest geezer, Russ
that? Oh
Cook,
yeah, been
who
following that.
is, yeah, he's running the length of Africa. So he's raised over £50,000 for charities now. We've raised £300 as of today, which is not bad.
Yeah.
It's only been out 4 days. It's not bad. We're raising money for the Chesterfield FC Community Trust, who I'm sure people know help kids to get into sport, help elderly people who are, to reduce isolation.
Mm-hmm.
There's disability groups that are really good, obviously, for the community. So that's one charity. Another charity is Islington Food Bank, where Alain is from, Islington. And then a third charity we're raising money for is Calm, the campaign against living miserably, obviously, to promote good mental health, suicide prevention, which, yeah, is important to us as well.
Yeah, brilliant. Good luck with all of the fundraising. And
Thank you very much.
and so where are you off to after Albania? What's the kind of immediate route after that?
After Albania, we are heading directly east. So we're going to come off the coast into North Macedonia, Bulgaria, and then Turkey. So that's the immediate route. Keep heading east, basically.
Yeah, that's great. And you're getting a few football matches in?
Oh yeah, absolutely. We went to a we went to the Nations League match back in July. That was now, or end of June. Netherlands versus Italy. We've been to a Slovenia league match. Copa versus, I'll be honest, I'm not sure who it was against. A Croatian league match. It was a Europa League qualifier, actually. Rijeka in Croatia versus somebody else again. I'm not sure. And on Saturday just gone, we saw Tueta, which is the team from Dorez in Albania, versus Tirana, the capital. It was a feisty 2-2 draw, and there were flares, and the ultra groups were out. So that was an experience.
And you're not there in a Chesterfield shirt.
You know what? I was wearing a Chesterfield
Oh,
shirt. Yeah. I looked, the home team wear blue as well. So I thought it'll be fine. And it was fine. No worries.
Have you had anyone go in? Which team is that?
There's definitely been some looks. And then people go, you're from England. You're from England.
Uh-huh.
So yeah. And in fact, we were after the match, I mentioned Armando Dobra to some other young lads, and they went, "Oh yeah, he played for Albania under 21s." I was like, "Yes." So they know that people out here know Armando Dobra, so it's pretty cool. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's perfect place to stop for a bit, isn't it? Dobra's
Yeah, the home of the Albanian Messi.
Albanian, exactly. So what's your kind of hopes then going forward for this adventure? Is it just to see what happens, basically?
Keep cycling east, definitely. All the way to Bangkok. I'm so determined to get to Bangkok. Me and Alain both are determined to get there. And we're going to get there. That's, we have to have that mindset.
Yeah.
And yeah, keep filming because we love to do that. Following our passions, keep traveling, keep meeting people, keep seeing the world, eating great food, and just keep growing in every way we can. Like even personally, keep learning about the world and growing on the YouTube, hopefully. Growing, obviously, raising money for the charities that are important to us, and just to live every day. That's the plan. Fully, live every day fully. That's kind of the message we want to spread, as I said. But also, on a side note, like communities would crash if everyone did this stuff. So, like, we fully respect and love people who work so hard, like 9-to-5 jobs every day, and that's amazing that people do that, to help their communities and businesses. And yeah, communities would crash without that. So we so much respect for people that do that as well. We just had this crazy calling that we have to follow as well. I'm sure we'll get a proper job one day. I'm sure
your time will come. And then you can just hark back to the good old days.
Absolutely.
Great. Well, thanks so much for having a chat. Good luck with it all. And we'll keep following the adventures and see where you end up next.
Appreciate that. Thank you very much.